My ex-boyfriend called out of the blue and in a timid voice said, "I'm pregnant." I stared into space for 10 seconds, then ground my teeth and forced myself to stay calm. "Are you out of your mind? You're a man. How could you possibly be pregnant?" He sounded scared, his voice shaking. "It's true. It's your baby. You've got to be kidding me." I slammed my palm on the table and shot to my feet. "Ethan Stone, you're a man. How exactly are you pregnant?" He didn't explain. He hurriedly hung up and told me to meet him in 30 minutes at our usual spot. In a swirl of emotions, I went. Sitting by the window, I watched a familiar black Maserati roll into the lot. Moments later, Ethan walked in. I leaned back on the sofa, lifted my wine, and looked up as he approached. He wore a perfectly tailored black suit. Tall, clean lines, that frosty, untouchable aura, his face like a 1,000-year glacier. Not a flicker of expression yet. His dangerous good looks still drew covert glances from the women at the next table. I frowned, starting to doubt that phone call had been real. Is he messing with me? Unless he's lost his mind, there's no way those words actually came out of his mouth. Or is someone playing a prank on us both? He sat down across from me. "What can I get you to drink, sir?" the server asked. "Milk," Ethan said. I almost sprayed my wine. Milk. The Ethan I knew ordering milk in a bar. The server glanced at my glass, surprised, then nodded. Right away. Ethan shot me a look, and suddenly his expression softened. He absently rubbed his stomach and murmured, "Alcohol isn't good for the baby. I won't drink anymore." I nearly choked to death on my sip. Watching a man, Ethan of all people, pat his stomach and say, "Alcohol isn't good for the baby," shocked me as much as if humanity had just discovered a ninth wonder of the world. I gaped for 5 seconds. "Quit it, Ethan." I put my glass down hard. "What game are you playing?" He reflexively covered his belly and curled into the corner of the sofa like a frightened white rabbit, looking at me with trembling eyes. "Don't be mean to me. You'll scare the baby." That expression, that posture, that voice. Could this truly be the same cold, steel-nerved Ethan Stone? I stared at him, calming bit by bit. Suspicion beginning to creep in. He didn't look like he was faking, and even if he were, why would anyone choose to fake something this ridiculous? Did something happen to him? The thought dissolved my anger. Worried, I moved to sit beside him. He still hid his midsection, shrinking into the corner, peeking at me. Sensing I wasn't angry anymore, he inched closer. I touched his forehead. Not hot. Probably not a fever. I took a slow breath. "Ethan, why did you say you're pregnant?" A little shy, he unbuttoned his jacket, took my hand and placed it on his stomach. His voice turned warm with wonder. "See, my belly's bigger. The baby's in there." My eyes almost popped out. His abdomen did look rounder. I yanked open a couple of buttons on his white shirt. His chest gradually came into view. "This is impossible." "How? We're in public," he whispered, flushing as he pushed me away. "Ethan Stone," I snapped. "You strap a throw pillow to your waist and call it pregnancy. It's real." He looked at me wounded like a man abandoned with his child. "If you don't want me and the baby, just say so. Don't make excuses." What I pointed at his stomach. "You're saying that baby is mine?" He nodded firmly, lashes dipping both shy and aggrieved. "I only have you. If it isn't yours, whose is it?" Lightning struck me in a chain, frying me to a crisp from the inside out. I'm young, unmarried, and now I supposedly have a baby. In my ex-boyfriend's belly, in the span of a few minutes, my worldview crashed, rebuilt, and crashed again, leaving a ruin. "Ethan," I said carefully, "we need a hospital, for your head, and for my heart." He instantly guarded his belly and bolted back into the corner, eyes reddening. "You're not dragging me to a hospital to make me, it's my baby. Even if you don't want it, I won't get rid of it. I'll carry it and raise it." I stared. What was that supposed to mean? Give birth to a pillow and stuff it into a bigger pillow? I hesitated, pulling out my phone, debating whether to call 911 or the ER. Just then, a voice called, "Ma'am, is Mr. Ethan here?" A refined, elegantly dressed woman hurried over. When she saw Ethan, she clutched her chest with relief. Thank goodness. I finally found my son. Salvation. I stood up. "Mrs. Stone, you're here." Ethan had taken me to meet his mother once. She looked at her son, then squeezed my hand apologetically. "I'm so sorry, Hannah. He must have troubled you." "It's okay," I said, lowering my voice. "What happened to him?" Mrs. Stone sighed. "He's ill." My heart thudded. What kind of illness? A head injury. 10 minutes later, I sat with her in the back of their car while she explained. Yesterday, he'd been fine. Early this morning, it started. She thought he'd had a nightmare and fallen out of bed, hitting his head. When he woke, he had changed, insisting on stuffing a pillow under his shirt and demanding to find the baby's mother to take responsibility. She tried to take him to a doctor, but in a moment of distraction, he ran off. I swallowed and glanced at Ethan. He sat rubbing his belly face serene and tender, whispering who knows what to the baby. "How did you know he came to me?" I asked. "Besides you," she said pointedly. "Who else would he call the baby's mother?" I didn't answer. Instinctively, I glanced at him again. Apparently, he hadn't told his parents we'd broken up. We'd been together a little over a year. I was the one who ended it just a few days ago because Ethan was a workaholic. Our daily chat log looked like this. Me. "Are you there?" Him busy working. Me. "Are you done yet?" Him done going into a meeting. Me. Meeting over him, yes. Me. "Then can we talk?" "I miss you." Him. "After I finish my work." Me. "Why are you busy every day? Are you too busy to need a girlfriend? Do you know how long it's been since you spent time with me?" Him. "I'll be with you when I'm done." Me. "We should break up." Him. "Wait, hold on. I'm working." After that fight, I deleted him from my chat app and erased the entire history. He was also the straightest of straight men, no romance, no frills. He'd hand me a bank card and say, "Buy yourself something. The limit's 15 billion. If that's not enough, there's more." On weekends, when other guys took their girlfriends to movies or amusement parks, he'd say, "Where do you want to go? I've booked out the place. Go have fun and send me alone." When I had cramps, other boyfriends might show up with tea heat pads and late-night calls. Ethan would silently transfer 300 million with the note, "Drink hot water." If money could solve it, he never used feelings. But I didn't want his money. I wanted a normal relationship with a person, not a pile of cash. And there was the other thing, he was a walking monk, untouchable. Don't even talk about intimacy. I couldn't even touch him. He stayed aloof and restrained all day. I was starving. He wouldn't let me near him. There was exactly one time we were both drunk, and it turned into a mess I'd rather not recall. After a year of cold shoulders, I returned every cent he'd given me and ended it. I never imagined this would happen today. "We're here," the driver said as we pulled up to the hospital. "Come on," Mrs. Stone urged gently. Ethan saw the word hospital and bristled, clinging to the car door. "I'm not going in. You can't make me do that." Mrs. Stone looked helplessly at me. I saw real terror in his eyes. I took his hand and spoke softly. "Relax. We're not here for that. We're here for a checkup to make sure you're healthy." He bit his lip, hopeful. "Really? I wouldn't lie. I care about our baby." The words felt absurd in my mouth, but I nodded. Instantly, he brightened like an oversized golden retriever rubbing against me, happy and content, as if his big fluffy tail was wagging flowers into the air. I had never seen Ethan like this, never even dared imagine it. I stood stunned for a long moment before gathering myself. Through the tests, he held my hand the entire time, refusing to let me out of sight. His sudden dependence unsettled me, but it also made me happy. In our old life, he seemed to have room only for work. The patient's family for Ethan Stone, a doctor called. We have the results. Mrs. Stone and I hurried over. The CT shows a large hematoma. There's been brain injury affecting his cognition, the doctor said, pushing up his glasses. My guess is that before he hit his head, he encountered information about pregnancy that his brain then fixated on, so he believes he's an expectant mother. Mrs. Stone looked from the doctor to my abdomen and blurted, "Hannah, are you?" I went pale and waved frantically. No, please don't overthink." "What should we do?" Mrs. Stone asked anxiously. "Don't argue with his delusion," the doctor said. "Go along with it for now to avoid agitation. As the hematoma resolves, he should gradually return to normal." I nodded absently, glancing back. Ethan was rubbing his stomach, waiting obediently. When he caught me looking, he gave me a goofy, blissful smile. My heart thumped. Was this a coincidence? Or something else? "Hannah," Mrs. Stone said softly, squeezing my hand, "could you take care of him for a while? As you can see, he believes he's carrying your child and wants you to be responsible." I hesitated. "Don't worry about expenses," she added quickly. "He's my only son. If you need anything, tell me. And you two are still together, aren't you? You want him well again, right?" I looked from my belly to Ethan and finally nodded. "Okay." Half an hour later, I took my pregnant ex-boyfriend home. I leaned against the wall studying him from head to toe. A 6'2" CEO had somehow turned into a doting dad-to-be. Ridiculous. He stood obediently and let me stare, then tried out honey. His voice was low and smooth, rich as velvet. The words sent heat crawling up my spine. He had never called me anything but Hannah or my full name, like I was just another employee. "Don't call me that," I blurted. "We aren't that." "How do we become that?" he asked, earnest as a child. "By getting a marriage license," I said dryly. "When can we go get one?" "No," I snapped. "We broke up. We're not getting married." His face drained and he threw his arms around me like an abandoned dog. "No, don't leave me, please. You promised you wouldn't abandon me and the baby." He squeezed so tight I could barely breathe. I whacked his arm. "Let go." "I'll let go when you say we're not breaking up." "Fine." I'd humor him. It wasn't like it changed anything. "We're not breaking up." He relaxed, though he still wouldn't lift his head from my shoulder. Up I nudged. "That tickles." "Honey, my stomach hurts," he whispered. "Why?" He rubbed his belly aggrieved. "The baby heard you say break up and kicked me. It hurts." I had no words. He grabbed my hand and placed it on his stomach, eyes gleaming with flattery. "How far along are you, Mr. Stone?" I asked sweetly. He counted on his long fingers. 2 months. I laughed and flicked his forehead. "At 2 months, they can't kick." He pressed his lips together and looked away guilty. Just then, my professor texted asking me to stop by the office. "I'm heading out. Stay home and don't wander." "No," he said instantly, clutching my shirt hem. "Can I come?" "No." I shook him off, grabbed my laptop, and left. "Make yourself lunch. Don't call me for trivial things." At the office, my phone rang. I thought it was my professor and answered without looking. "Hi, honey," Ethan's deep voice. "What is it? I miss you." I hung up exasperated. 10 minutes later, the phone rang again. "Honey, I'm hungry. There's food in the fridge. Cook." "I don't know how." "Then order delivery." "I don't know how." I inhaled through my nose. "Fine, I'll order. I'm busy. Don't call again about this stuff." I hung up. The next ring almost made me flip my desk. "Honey," he panted miserably. "This time it's serious." "It had better be," I gritted out. My chest hurts. "What?" "Must be milk coming in. Can you come home and check?" he whispered. I saw red. "You're a man." "What milk?" "It really hurts," he said, wounded. A second later, my phone dinged with a photo. Ethan biting the hem of his t-shirt, revealing sculpted abs, stark collarbones, and a perfect jawline. His long fingers pressed his pec. His mouth pinched in pain. My face flamed. My heart tripped and stumbled. Whether or not milk was involved, his chest was definitely bigger than mine. He whimpered like a sad puppy in my ear. I blocked his number. That night, I opened the door and felt a cloud of desolation settle over the room. Ethan sat curled on the sofa like a scolded kid, then sprang up and jogged to me. "Honey, why didn't you answer?" I was about to tell him I'd blocked him when he hurled his phone to the floor and stomped it. "It's this stupid thing. It must have swallowed your calls. My wife loves me and the baby. She wouldn't ignore me." He picked up my bag, eyes shining, right? I looked away guilty and quietly unblocked his number. At bedtime, he climbed into my twin bed like it was his by right. 6'2" of arms and legs on a tiny mattress, ridiculous. He patted the sliver of space beside him. "Come on, honey, bedtime." I kicked both man and blanket onto the floor. "Sofa, I can't." He hugged his stomach, stubborn and pitiful. "Pregnant people get nightmares. I need my wife beside me to sleep." I narrowed my eyes, then suddenly smiled mean down and bit his ear. "Want to sleep with me? Aren't you worried I'll do something bad for the baby?" He turned scarlet flustered and bolted to the sofa with his blanket. I laughed till I couldn't breathe. Days passed like this, chaotic and oddly fun. I used him shamelessly as a pack mule at the supermarket. On the way back, I strolled ahead with an ice cream. He followed loaded with bags, eyeing my cone. "Honey, can I have a bite?" "No, pregnant people shouldn't have cold things." He lowered his eyes. "Then pregnant people shouldn't carry heavy bags." "What was that?" He shut his mouth and trudged on. At my building, a tall, pretty woman stood waiting. Lauren Turner, Ethan's chief of staff. Real estate heiress, childhood friend, and one of the reasons I'd broken up with him. Why is the CEO carrying all that she scolded, reaching for the bags? Ethan dodged and hid behind me. Lauren froze. "What's with you, Ethan?" I folded my arms and said nothing. She eyed me up and down. "We need to talk, Ms. Lane. I know your secret." "Oh," I said lightly. "What secret?" "You're pregnant. 2 months. But the child isn't his." I burst out laughing. "And you'd know that how—" She smirked and flashed a photo of me helping a drunk Cole Nolan into a hotel room after the company's celebration party 2 months ago. Imagine what Ethan and Mrs. Stone would think. I glanced at the picture, my back to the camera. "You didn't come all this way just to gossip." "No, I'm here to take Ethan home." I shrugged. "Go ahead." "But Mrs. Stone has to agree." Lauren sneered, as I thought. That night, she arrived with Mrs. Stone. "Did you and Ethan really break up?" Mrs. Stone asked, shocked. "Yes," I said, pouring her tea. "We're just incompatible. He's married to his work. I'm a free spirit. Long term, I'll go crazy." Lauren cut in, smiling tightly. "Since that's the case, don't keep her from finding new love. I grew up with Ethan. Let me take care of him." Mrs. Stone gave her a strange look. "Have you asked Ethan?" "Not yet," I said, glancing toward the bedroom. "I'll ask now." When I let him out, he pouted. "Honey, why did you lock me in?" "Go with Lauren," I said. "Why?" He recoiled, panicking. "I'm carrying our baby. I belong with you." "No, you're carrying Lauren's child." I leaned against the wall, smiling coolly. "I won't raise someone else's baby." He stared, devastated. "Come on," Ethan Lawrence said, reaching for his face. He dodged instinctively, trying to hide behind me. Too bad the wall was at my back. "It's late," I said, opening the door. "Please go." He stood in the shadows, looking at me for a long moment, then left with his mother. That night, I met my sister Lydia at a little bar. She tapped my belly. "So which man made our Hannah quit drinking?" I sipped milk. "Cut it out. It's only been 2 months. We don't know the gender yet." "Fine, but I want a nephew who looks like Ethan Stone." She sighed. "You really sent him away?" "Mm-hmm. Lawrence coveted him forever. I'm making it easy." Lydia flicked my forehead. "That's Ethan Stone. And you handed him off. Is your brain broken?" "What about him?" "I don't like him anymore," I said airily. "And the longer I stay, the more likely his family is to discover my pregnancy and fight me for the baby." She sobered. Have you really thought this through? Yes, a professor in Australia agreed to take me on. Dad bought me a condo there. I'll leave in 2 months. Mom's coming with me. We'll deliver and come back. Your parents spoil you rotten, she muttered. Look on the bright side, Ethan's tall, handsome, smart, great genes. And I get a baby without in-law drama or a husband to manage. I stretched. Freedom. You'll regret it, Lydia said. I drained my glass. Without Ethan, men still exist. After we left the bar, my head felt hollow and my chest oddly tight. Lydia took me home. I flopped on the sofa out of habit and yelled, "Ethan, carry me to bed." Silence. I remembered I'd sent him away. The quiet felt empty. I expected to lie awake, but to my surprise, I slept straight through my alarm. The next afternoon, I came home to find movers and a renovation crew on the floor below. Peeking in, I saw Ethan and Lauren. She smiled. The doctor said pregnant people should be in familiar surroundings. We're moving in downstairs. You don't mind, do you? Not at all, I said. As long as you keep it quiet. Her eye twitched. She turned. Ethan, greet our new neighbor the way we practiced. He waddled over, hand on his waist, and deadpanned, "Hello, neighbor. Please take care of us." I pressed my lips together, nodded, and went upstairs. That evening, I headed out for dinner and ran into them again. "Have?" a plum Lawrence said, lifting one to his mouth. "It's cold," he said, turning away, but his eyes slid to me. "Pregnant people shouldn't have cold things." Right, my bad," she said quickly. "Let's go home. I'll make a honey lemon drink. You've been craving sour things." He nodded. "Out for dinner too," Ms. Lane Lawrence smiled. "We'll be going." I stepped aside. He followed her obediently, head down, as he passed me. I watched their backs and suddenly lost my appetite. Late that night, I found several missed calls from him, starting at 9. I didn't call back. On my way to take out the trash, I opened the door and nearly tripped over him, sitting on the stair, hugging his knees. "Ethan, what are you doing here?" He lifted his head. "I missed you." The once icy CEO looked like he might cry. "How long have you been here?" "Where's Lauren?" She fell asleep. I snuck out. "Go back," I said. "Don't make her worry." He didn't move. He tugged my sleeve. "I'm hungry." "Then why didn't you eat? Didn't she cook?" "Yeah. So why not eat it?" "Sensitive teeth," he said pitifully. "Too much sour food." I pinched the bridge of my nose. "Come inside." I boiled noodles. As I set the bowls on the table, knock knock. Lauren stood at the door. She scanned the room, spotted Ethan waiting obediently at the table, and smiled thinly. "Sorry to bother you so late, Ms. Lane. I'll take him home." She put a firm hand on his shoulder. He looked at me with pleading eyes. I crossed my arms and leaned on the doorframe. "It's late. Don't disturb people." The door shut with a bang. I stared at the 2 untouched bowls, ate his, and put mine in the fridge for morning. Lately, first trimester fatigue and nausea were pounding me, so I decided to stay with my mom a few days. The next morning while I was packing, there was a knock. Cole Nolan, handsome and kind, stepped in. "All set. Perfect timing," I said. Rolling my shoulders, "Can you help me carry this?" "Of course." As we headed out, I spotted Ethan downstairs clutching a bag of my favorite snacks, standing under a tree like a scolded puppy. I closed the door without greeting him. In the car, Cole glanced in the mirror. "Is that Ethan Stone? What's he doing there?" I looked back. Ethan stared at our car, crushing the snack bag. His face screamed, "I'm so sad I could cry." "I should say hi," Cole said, unbuckling. "We have contract stuff to discuss." "Don't," I said quickly. "It won't help today." He gave me a puzzled look, then drove me to my parents. After dropping off boxes, he said, "Going to shop for baby things with your mom? I'll wait here." "Yep," I nodded. Back by 5. At a maternity and baby store, a clerk chirped, "If your friend is 2 months along, these are perfect." Cole trailed behind me, cooing at tiny onesies. "These are adorable. Makes me want a kid." I laughed. "Then you'd better—" "Honey," a wounded voice cut in. I looked up. Of course, Ethan. Be quiet, I hissed. I am not your wife. I'm sorry, he pleaded, tugging my sleeve like a wronged little spouse. I'll be good. Don't abandon me. Cole gaped. People started whispering. Isn't that Ethan Stone? Oh my God, it is. Is she his wife? Are they shopping for baby stuff? Who's the other guy? Is this a love triangle? My cheeks burned. Ethan still clung to my sleeve. I forced a stiff smile. Sir, please let go. I don't know you. He burst out tearful. You do. You're Hannah Lane, my wife. Before the scene got worse, I clapped a hand over his mouth and dragged him into the stairwell. How did you track me here? I snapped. Taxi! He nodded, utterly sincere. What do you want, Ethan? He sniffled, eyes reddening. You went with that bad man first. You're my wife. I'm carrying your baby. Why would you abandon us? What did we do wrong? Veins throbbed in my forehead. For the last time, the baby in your belly isn't mine. It's Lauren's. It's not, he insisted. The baby told me so yesterday. We're telepathic. It cried and said that woman isn't its mother. It wants me to take it upstairs to you. I choked on a laugh. Telepathy with a pillow. Sure. Why not take it to a cotton field and let it meet its cousins? I'm calling Lauren to pick you up, I said, pulling out my phone. He flared, eyes wet. Why don't you want me? Is it because of him? He jabbed a finger toward the store. I'm willing to carry your child. Would he? I was shaking with fury. Cole is my brother-in-law. Ethan blinked. Then he threw his arms around me and buried his face in my neck. I knew it. You're the best. You wouldn't leave me. I love you so much, Hannah. So much. I rolled my eyes, lifted my hands to push him away, and froze. My heart thumped hard. The tiny life in my own belly seemed to flutter. My hands softened. I rested them lightly at his waist. That evening, a video of our baby store scene hit the trending lists. Shares skyrocketed. In it, Ethan clung to my sleeve, whining, "Honey." Honey, utterly unlike his usual cold ascetic CEO persona. Comments flooded in, some sweet, some vicious. Someone even dug up a photo from my father Victor Lane's birthday party last year, recognizing me as his younger daughter. Great! My secret heiress identity was about to be blown, and my pregnant runaway plan would go up in smoke. Our family group chat exploded. Lydia. Hannah, explain now. Dad, Victor. If the secret's out, let it out. Your mother and I decided 10 houses, 10 cars, and $888. Tomorrow we go to the Stones to propose. Mom. I like Ethan. We should plan the wedding soon. Otherwise, your belly will show and the dress won't fit. Dad. Honey, I agree, Mo. Lydia. What are we naming my future niece-nephew Dad? If it's a girl, Liberty Lane. Boy, Lincoln Lane. Mom, Hannah. Me, we broke up. My messages were swallowed whole by the flood. I tossed my phone and lay on my bed, palm drifting to my lower belly. After the breakup, I'd learned I was pregnant. I'd planned to end it, but couldn't. So I decided to keep it from Ethan and raise the baby myself. But was it right? Would my child resent growing up without their dad? And Ethan would recover one day. Was I really going to marry the ice-cold workaholic I'd hated? If only he would stay foolish forever, I thought sourly. I'd marry him and keep him. Right then, Ethan called. Honey, he said in a small, wounded voice. Lauren kicked me out. No one else wants a man pregnant with another woman's child. Can I come home? I hesitated, slid on my slippers, and opened the door. He stepped in carefully. Thanks, honey. Why did she kick you out? I asked, eyeing him. She said, everyone knows my belly is your doing, he sniffled. No one but you wants me. He set his bag down, sat with his hands on his knees, and looked up obediently. Where do I sleep? My thoughts tangled. I shoved him toward the bathroom. You sleep after a shower. You reek. He sniffed himself like a guilty child and dashed off. As the door clicked shut, I slumped on the sofa, staring at the ceiling. What now? His phone buzzed on the table. I glanced over and froze at a message from Lauren. Lauren, Ethan. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have coveted you or slandered Hannah. I've been acting with you since the night I took you home. Please let me go. I don't want my company to go bankrupt. My heart pounded. I tried his passcode, his birthday. No, mine. The phone unlocked. I typed, me. Your acting is getting sloppy. She replied instantly, Lauren. Not good enough. I've used up my lifetime of acting to make her jealous. You don't know how terrified I am under your pressure. Yes, I wanted to frame Hannah and marry you while you were stupid. Who knew you were faking? I'm sorry. Please let me off the hook, Ethan. A crash sounded from the bathroom. Shampoo bottle on the floor. Ethan stood in the doorway, half-dressed, water sliding down his temple. I leaned back, tossed the phone on the table, and met his eyes. Explain. He was silent a moment. When he looked up, the familiar Ethan Stone had returned cool, clear, and control. He fetched a keyboard from the bedroom and stood straight. Do I need to kneel on this while I explain? You can stand, I said magnanimously. He rubbed his temples. 2 days after you dumped me, a friend at the hospital told me you were pregnant and thinking about an abortion. That night, I had nightmares first of you, crying on the floor with an ultrasound printout, saying your mom would kill you. Then a bloody child sitting in your belly, sobbing that its mother would kill it. I jolted awake, fell out of bed, and actually did hit my head. I wasn't lying about that. I sipped my tea, and the lying after, I didn't want to lose you, and I had no idea how to win you back. You seemed to like me better when I was soft, so I went with it. Lauren's appearance was an accident. I didn't know she felt that way. When you were so indifferent, I had a stupid idea, use her to provoke you. I set the cup down with a thud. Keep going. Then Cole showed up. He said jaw tight. I was sick with jealousy. 2 months ago, the night of the celebration party, I saw you help him into a hotel room. I was drunk, but it gutted me. I'm sorry I did what I did after. My mind flipped back to that night, hazy and heated, when I might have pushed him a little too hard. I can't live without you or our child, he finished quietly. I've been thinking a lot. I was a terrible boyfriend. Please give me one more chance. If you can't love me again, I'll respect your choice. My heart was a snarl of feelings hammering fast. I sighed. All right. Considering the suspect's sincere confession, the court will grant a probationary period. You get 1 month. If I'm satisfied, your sentence is commuted. Objections. None, he said, grinning. He leaned in to nip my ear. Thank you for your mercy, wife. Who's your wife? I kicked him. He caught my ankle. Careful, he murmured. You're pregnant. I pressed my palm to his forehead. Still not healed, he laughed, slid an arm around me, and drew me close. I meant you. Don't get angry. I placed his hand on my lower belly. Feel. Really? He breathed, suddenly careful stroking like it was a priceless relic. He pressed his ear lightly and whispered, awed, "This is ours." Idiot, I said, smiling despite myself. He laced our fingers and shut his eyes, nuzzling my shoulder. Hannah, I really, truly love you. I turned my face away with a haughty little huff. He didn't see the smile tugging at my lips. I have a secret, I thought. I figured out a while ago that you were faking the dumb act. Who else sneaks out at midnight for a video board meeting? Still, I hadn't exposed him. I wanted to give him a chance and myself one too. Ethan Stone. I love you. That's true. Epilogue. Before Lauren reappeared, one day I came home from the market and found my beautiful man, half-dressed, grimacing, as he wrapped gauze around his belly. What are you doing? I asked. He stood, akimbo eyes big and pleading. My stomach's showing. If the guys at the office see, I'll be a target. To protect our baby, I have to. I poked his forehead and clicked off a historical drama he'd left playing. My professor's taking me to a conference out of town. I'll be back in 2 days. They say absence makes the heart grow fonder. I didn't say it out loud, but I missed him like crazy. I even brought him local snacks. When I opened the door, warm kitchen light spilled over the room, carrying the smell of dinner. "You're home!" Ethan peeked from the kitchen, one hand on his hip, one with a spatula. "Wash up! Let's eat!" We curled on the sofa afterward, watching a hit family drama about pregnancy. He was engrossed in the show. I was engrossed in him, damp black hair, loose robe, a clean soap scent, milky skin at the collarbone. I'd just eaten, yet hunger returned. My naughty hands slid under his robe. He brushed me off gently. "What are you doing?" he drawled, lazy and sweet. Predator mode activated. I pinned his wrist to the sofa, bit his ear, and whispered shameless things. He flushed and wriggled free, retreating to the corner with his hands over his belly like I was a marauding beast. 5 months, he said, eyes shiny. "We can't. The baby will fall out." The next day, I passed a lingerie shop, picked up a few daring sets, came home showered, and paraded around him. He froze. "You look beautiful," he breathed, sneaking a kiss at my nape. "Can't," I said solemnly, hooking a finger into his collar to reel him close. "It's been 5 months. The baby, remember." He swallowed. After a long stare, he started unbuttoning like a martyr. 6 months today. We're in the clear." I cracked up and tugged his cheek. "Yesterday, 5 today, 6. "What are you pregnant for 10 days? "Depends who's pregnant," he said, jutting out his belly. "Our baby is considerate." I laughed till tears spilled, hauled him down to the cushions, and pinched his jaw. "When the baby's born, will it call you mommy or me?" He pondered earnest. "You, of course. You're prettier. I'll be the stay-at-home dad." I stared. His shirt was askew, his clear eyes wide, hands over his imaginary bump. Adorable. If I could, I'd turn him into a real stay-at-home dad and keep him forever. Breathless, I tugged the curtains shut and pounced. And that's the end of this ridiculous, wonderful chapter of our lives. Thank you so much for listening to today's story. If this story resonated with you or made you reflect, I'd love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to share them in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss the next story. I'll see you next time as we continue exploring more journeys and lessons together.